Okay, hi guys, this is Nikki from the Philippines, Manila, Faceless Trader here. And this is our first show tackling the global markets. And so we wish to invite all of you to come to our client. We want to welcome you to our everyday session, every day, 5 p.m. Philippine time. We're going to discuss all the things that's happening abroad. So in today's title, From Adversity, Opportunity is Born. I'd like to discuss the latest news that happened overnight. This is one of the news that I picked up. Microsoft and FedEx partner up for supply chain collaboration. Now, these are household names. FedEx, your freight transportation and logistics, software and tech services giant Microsoft. They have partnered up for a multi-year collaboration with an emphasis of meshing their key elements, including the global digital network of FedEx with Microsoft's cloud power. Now, e-commerce today has always demanded to continue to push innovation. And I think because of e-commerce demands, this merger had to happen. Now, this merger is just a partnership. They didn't have to exchange shares or swaps. At its core, the company said that this collaboration will help the shippers through various joint offerings. They're powered by Microsoft's Azure Cloud Computing Service and the Dynamic 365 Enterprise Resource Planning and Customer Relationship Management applications. This partnership will use data analytic solutions, reinventing the most critical aspect of the commerce experience, enabling businesses to better compete in today's increasingly digital marketplace. With this merger, you're expected to help. You're expected for Microsoft to use its AI technology to work with transactional history, current pricing data from carriers, keep shippers more aware of the weather, the traffic data, so that they could inform more freight and routing decisions. Now, making sense of data will lead to true efficiency, and I think this is a better news for FedEx rather than Microsoft. What you see here is Microsoft helps through artificial intelligence, potentially autonomous mobile robots, Internet of Things, for the adaptation of tight inventory and fulfillment management, and final mile delivery and returns processes, better logistics and transportation practices. This actually is a very, very good news for FedEx. FedEx shares shot up 9% last night. We'll go through the earnings report of we'll go through the trading view for FedEx. We'll have to see what exactly happened. For a long time, FedEx has already been actually having a lower revenue, market cap of $30 billion. FedEx has been losing to its competition, DocuSign. For all of you, you might have heard that FedEx used to do well until now, those parcel deliveries. But with the advent of just signing documents online, it really materially hampered that revenue line, that revenue pie, such that FedEx has been a loser even before COVID. So if you look at the chart of FedEx, since 2009, all the way till about 2018, it has been rising, but there are multiple reasons why FedEx fell. FedEx, of course, had a falling out with Amazon. Amazon did their own shipping delivery, and then DocuSign too. So with a lot of revenues falling for the last few quarters, this jump from Microsoft is actually a well-needed help that would actually help redefine FedEx business going forward. Now, we could see that the market was actually very happy on this news. Take a look at this level from 102, where it was teetering almost to your March lows, whereas the entire market, especially technology stocks, recovered. FedEx has been seen as a dinosaur and not gonna react to COVID pandemic. Given this partnership, the market has naturally signed a good sign for this. We see it potentially still a trading range until the market realizes whether there's a synergy between Microsoft and FedEx. Now, take note that Microsoft has always helped traditional commerce companies such as Walmart. So it's likely that FedEx could potentially be a partner in the future for more services for Walmart, given Microsoft and Walmart work hand in hand. which is a great thing because Microsoft, FedEx, and Walmart all have a common enemy, and that is Amazon. I think it's good to check out the earnings call of Walmart this week. Given those COVID pandemic e-commerce demands, will FedEx be there to help on the logistics? And could there be a reversal on the way? I think this is the start of a potential move higher, but we have to see. For now, it's going to be tracked from 100 to 130. So that's FedEx for you, Microsoft and FedEx. Now, the other news that I want to share is this news. Okay, last night after hours, we got the Baidu earnings call, first quarter 2020 update. For those who don't know what Baidu means 100 times. Now, it means 100 or 1,000 times, meaning you have to keep on doing and doing continuously. And that's what Baidu has always done. Baidu has been known forever as the Google of China. It is a leading search engine, knowledge and information-centered internet platform, and definitely it is an AI company. Now, it is actually one of the top sites globally spent worldwide. You've got Google, YouTube, Facebook, number 4, Baidu, and you have about 770, as of 2017, around 800 million internet users in China with a population of about 1.5 billion. So that's close to half, more than half. Now, before we begin, I'm going to play this show. It's just 1 minute and 40 seconds for you to know everything that Baidu AI company has as a preview. Okay, let me play first. So for those who might have heard of Baidu only now, take a look at this. Okay, so for those non-Chinese viewers,
I probably look like shit.
Definitely, I hope that small short 1 minute video has shown to you all the things that Baidu has been doing. That was actually a 2018 video, so that is actually 2 years ago. They have upgraded all those services that you've seen, and we'll discuss all the earnings. For that Apollo car that you actually saw, that is an autonomous driving car, and it has already a lot of test drives. They've gone from Apollo 1 to, until now, it's about Apollo 5. So Apollo 5 is actually approved already in Beijing. These are hundreds of fleets of robo-taxis. These were in partnership with Microsoft, Intel, and Daimler. So Baidu is really more an artificial intelligence company. I think you can say that AI has pervasive technologies. You've seen how, for those who haven't watched, you can check this out. This was a 2017 demonstration by CEO Robin Lee on how he was interacting with DuerOS. DuerOS would be Baidu's Siri or Amazon. It would be their Amazon Alexa. So these are your voice assisted technologies. You've got an AI helping you handle everything from getting the news and sometimes even getting the weather, having your smart homes, and so forth. You could see that from their earnings report, Baidu's AI capabilities were actually retooled, helping users, municipalities, and organizations better cope with the COVID as part of Baidu's social responsibility. So, examples through Baidu Health, they provided tens of millions of free online doctor consultations powered by many of their third-party medical apps with Baidu's online healthcare services such as online pneumonia screening to free up hospitals for critical emergency. So these are powered by Baidu's AI. You could see that in their earnings report, they were saying that one of the reasons why they have been tremendously more profitable now is they have really said that we have already gone from website browsers to mobile in-app search. So in-app search is more profitable than browser search, and they're saying higher engagement. Healthcare apps provided very useful information, especially during this COVID time, and they've helped connect millions, if not thousands of users for online health consultation. So for those who are in the US, you are very familiar with telemedicine. You have Teledoc, you've got teledentistry like Smile Direct Club, you've got Align Technology. All of these are actually being powered for China by Baidu. So one of the things that really stuck in their earnings report are the following. So they were saying that despite the COVID, Baidu's total revenues actually just dropped 7% for the year, resulting from our diversified revenue streams, including marketing services for wide-ranging industries, new AI businesses, and Ichi. Now, Ichi is the Netflix of China. Baidu also owns that, aside from hundreds of other companies inside. Now, take note that Baidu's traffic remained robust, reaching 222 million in the apps. These are daily average users. These are up 28% year over year. In-app search queries were up 45%, and feed time was spent up 51%, meaning as people stayed home, they kept up to date through the Baidu mobile app. They're also seeing that users increasingly come to Baidu for critical and reliable information. So like us, when we in the West or like non-Chinese country, we go to Google for reliable information, whether it's COVID-19 or whatever. Now for Baidu, they really focused on revenue growth, which was quality, and they were very disciplined with spending ROI. You could see it with the next few highlights on their numbers. You could see that Baidu core adjusted EBITDA increased 38%, reaching $700 million, and adjusted EBITDA margin increased from about 19% to about 30%, an increase of 11 percentage points. That is actually very strong, even if revenue declined 13%. So their top line had a fall, but their bottom line was actually strong all the way. You can also see that this was brought about because of Baidu's mobile ecosystem, and they were seeing that in-app search is definitely more profitable than browser search with smaller losses in their AI. This was their revenues. You could see that despite that 7% decline in their revenues, you could see a very strong move, like from 401 yuan, you've got 1,431 million yuan for this quarter. That's a 258% increase. Net income to Baidu went from 967 million to about 3 billion yuan, or a 219% difference quarter on quarter. If you look at Baidu Core, it's even more impressive. Their operating income, this is where you see that 3.3 billion adjusted EBITDA blossomed to about 4.6. That 19% EBITDA margin grows to about 30% margin, showing that year-on-year increase. Now, these numbers might be very difficult for you to understand, so let's explain all the highlights for this quarter. For COVID pandemic, you've already heard about the online doctor consultations. Xiao2, which is their Siri or Alexa, was really just donated to all the doctors, allowing all these doctors for contactless, voice-enabled internet and video conferencing home to stay in touch with their loved ones while minimizing virus infection. Doer OS also partnered with online education organizations to provide enabling home teaching for kids while schools were closed down. You could see the power of Duer OS in later slides, but these smart speakers shipments were up 10%. It's already 3 billion so far, and that's really an astounding number of shipments. If you consider that worldwide, there's only about 5 billion mobile phones worldwide. So the advent of these smart devices is really impressive for me watching or reading all these numbers. Also, the ones that you saw a while ago, you saw those cars, unmanned cars. So robo taxis, when Elon Musk discusses that you'll have a robo taxi in the road, actually, Baidu doesn't speak much, but they more than 100 Apollo-powered autonomous vehicles have already been deployed across 17 cities in China, including Wuhan, Beijing, Shanghai, Shenzhen, and Xiamen, providing medication, face mask, food deliveries, as well as unmanned fever screening and sterilization services. Just so you know how powerful these autonomous vehicles are, Uber just this month, actually Uber just last week was trying to buy Grubhub. And actually, when I looked at that news, I saw that Uber wanted to do autonomous vehicles to deliver goods or becoming a logistics play. But if you think about it, the market cap of Uber is $60 billion, and the market was happy about that news, whereas Baidu is half. Baidu is $30 billion market cap with even more technology deployed, doesn't have to even buy or you could see from the cash flows itself that you've got a better company in this firm. Not just that, when we explain a few more, you'll see that AI call center solution, actually Baidu is impressive in their voice assistants. These are customer service wherein these are just robots retooled over 20 local governments, health commissions to call people to survey their health condition and travel information. Baidu Smart Call Center handled over 3 million calls in the first 2 months, which is equivalent to the workload of around 1,000 full-time employees over a month's period. So take a look about these smart call centers. These are updated on various operations of businesses on Baidu Maps. Restaurants, shops, supermarkets reopen for business. When you actually watch Iron Man and you have a Jarvis, one thing to note about that is that Jarvis is really your Baidu Duer OS. If you can take a look closely, that's really what you have in this company share report. Let's take a look. The linear fold, which is the RNA analysis algorithm, is available to all the researchers worldwide for COVID-19. It accelerates the prediction time of a virus RNA secondary structure potentially from 55 minutes to 27 seconds, affording the researchers an opportunity to better understand the pandemic and develop effective vaccines. So if you want to have like a healthcare robot understanding all these things, you want to use Baidu, which is actually helpful. Actually, this week, NVIDIA is also going to report earnings, and NVIDIA is also a pick of ours. We like NVIDIA similar to Baidu because they are really in the center of all these artificial intelligence technologies, helping algorithms. NVIDIA helps Google and Microsoft to crack very difficult processing time. So these are actually ways Baidu already has a $1 billion debt offering expiring soon, and so they already completed a new bond offering, which is $1 billion, priced at about 3%. 3% notes on 2025 and 3.4% notes due 2030. Similarly, Baidu has returned $185 million to shareholders in the first quarter of 2020, bringing the cumulative repurchase total to approximately $1.4 billion under the 2018 and 2019 repurchase programs. You'll understand later why there's a share buyback of Baidu and why it's actually a good thing for you who have Baidu shares or you have plans to buy it. they still approve a 2020 share repurchase program up to $1 billion of its own shares until July 1, 2021. So from now it's about May. So you have about May, June, July, you have about 14 months to finish $1 billion. That means they roughly have to buy about $70 million a year, a month, if they're just buying it on a regular daily basis. Now we've explained to you that Baidu has a lot of accounts. One of the most impressive would be their content creation, Baidu BJH. This is similar to your content creator, content platform, something similar to your YouTube, wherein publishers have reached 3 million, up 44% year over year in March 2020. More original content creators are joining Baidu due to the huge user scale of Baidu platform, including the Baidu app, Haokan, Quanmin, and Baidu Wiki. Now, app developers are migrating to the smart mini programs, allowing users to access information and services within Baidu app and from its network without having to download the individual apps. These monthly active users in the Baidu app reached 354 million, up 100%. Nice thing about in-app search versus web browser search is that when you're in the app, almost all the web apps that you're going in is all Baidu. So you're not going to go to a Tencent app. So it's actually, it helps Baidu monetize those advertising platform better, given that you're spending more time inside those apps. Robin Lee has been explaining in his speech about 2 to 3 years ago. So all of these things that's happening in the actual earnings report have actually been shown through their vision and mission, and it's actually very good to see how Robin Lee's team has really delivered all of these things. So one of the things that I am actually impressed is the Doer OS. So in March 2020, so a while ago, so this is the mobile in-app search. He's been talking on and on before that we are in a mobile phone era, we are in the in-app search rather than the browser search. And that's really happening in this quarter, showing you where the gross margin expansion is coming from. Now, talking about these voice assistants, these voice assistants are really incredible. Doer OS monthly voice queries reached 3.3 billion, up almost fivefold from last year. Now, these are also Doer total monthly voice queries reaching 6.5 billion, up almost threefold from last year. Now, Doer OS Skill Store offers 3,800 skills in wide-ranging genres, including education, video, online game, live streaming. Their developer community has grown to over 40,000 members, all working just on the Doer OS. So these are actually, they have so many products. They released Xiaodu Air. They released a 5.5-inch smart display. You've got Xiaodu Smart Speaker Kids Edition, equipped with advanced voice features, allowing parents to personalize storytelling with their own voices by recording 20 sentences, enabling parents to exit the children mode through their voice prints. Now, they're also the #1 in global smart display shipments for 2019. So you could see that Baidu has these speaker phones for you to understand what these artificial intelligence machines are. These Doer OS are anywhere from a refrigerator to a television to a washing machine to any company, any appliance that you now know of. They can become smart. Now, they are embedded with world-class AI speech, image recognition technology to assist enterprise developers in deploying those AI solutions. They can turn any product with a microphone and a speaker into a smart device. Now, Doer OS is already home to 10 major domains and over 200 subdomains of conversational skills, which can be applied in dozens of different scenarios. These are your current examples of what Doer OS is. It could be a smart speaker, a portable device, a TV, a refrigerator, a smartphone assistant. These are all in tandem to all the partnerships that Baidu already has. Baidu is already partnered with Suning Logistics, which also helps handle a lot of logistics. So if the AI knows something about your smart refrigerator or you actually enable the AI to know everything about your e-commerce, then it's possible, even the smart TVs and so forth. Just so you know how the smart TVs would look like. Of course, you can turn it on and off through your voice. You can also conduct image recognition if you want to identify celebrities on TV because they have those facial recognition. A while ago, you actually saw in the video that there's face pay. With your face, you can go to the vending machine and just use your face to be the reason to pay for that cola or beverage or whatever you actually watch. So there are a lot of things that are more advanced in Baidu company versus even Google or Amazon, which is actually worth watching for. So there's a lot like using Baidu, you've got your own encyclopedia, story. Actually, there's so much. You could even use the speaker to order food, films, takeout. Everything is actually connected. You can chat. You can do a lot of alarm clock settings. So all of these are actually very important for Baidu. Another thing for you to know is that Baidu is actually the number 4 global company when it comes to cloud. Of course, you all know that number 1 would be Amazon Web Services, and then number 2 would be Microsoft Azure. You have about Google Cloud, but you also have in China, there's gonna be Tencent, Alibaba, and Baidu. So they are the BAT. Baidu has already signed a strategic agreement with all the major public utilities providing AI solutions to customer service. And these public utilities are your platform as a service to enable customers to purchase electricity through just your facial recognition. Significantly shortens the queue time. Baidu AI platform as a service is also used to help company employees more efficiently draft daily, weekly management reports. Essentially, all of these things in COVID world is actually beneficial to a company like Baidu. For those who actually wants to follow me on Twitter, my handle is @FacelessTrader. I shared like a unmanned convenience store wherein Baidu just used the facial recognition and some machines to even topple any Amazon Go checkout store. It's unmanned, it's completely unmanned. The convenience store is something like it's just like a box, and then you could Google it, or I mean you could search it online, but just search for Baidu unmanned convenience stores. And really, the technology that Baidu has been showing for these past 2 to 3 years are really now bearing fruits. Now, of course, Apollo has been done research and now has ranked the number 1 by 2019 Beijing Autonomous Vehicles Road Test Report for safety. That's why Apollo, as of 2020, has already been doing robo-taxis in China. So that is already approved. Now, for the stay-at-home world, of course, iQIYI subscribers have reached 118 million this quarter, up 23% year on year. This large subscriber base will be a further strengthening for the foundation to produce many entertainment-oriented blockbuster originals. So just for you to know, Apollo's autonomous driving, it looks like this, from buses to cars to taxis to freight trucks, they have it all. You can also watch everything how they kept upgrading. It's now Apollo 5. So this is actually an old video on how they were upgrading Apollo. For you to know the chart, of course, Baidu has been since 2005. So this is a 15-year-old company. This company started $27. They had a 10-to-1 split. That's why it's a 2.7 IPO. It reaches as 280. So exactly pi 2, 100x, 100 times. Pi 2, it means pi means tipa, 100. 2, it means
Share water with lime, Mama.
so this is actually a 100 times move. And so far, what we're seeing in the past few months is that we actually gave a buy call at about 95 to 99. It closed 107 last night after earnings call. About that earnings, which was very pleasant to look at, it actually is opening 116. Now, from chartist perspective, you could see that a break of 120 can lead to 140. And from all the technologies that's happening, I would say that any dips from about 107 all the way to 100 would be bought. This reflects 7 years low. And with the trajectory of the margin expansion, you actually have better outlook for this company. And it is not just relying on simply the core advertising business. Of course, for this week, the things to watch would also be Walmart, Home Depot, Kohl's, and Target. Groceries have been half of these sales, so they're expected to post gains from consumer stockpiling during the pandemic. So it's important for us to check how Walmart is doing. I'm actually bullish for Walmart. Let's see what happens this week. So I hope you like this earnings call. I hope to see you again tomorrow. With that, I'm gonna end this call and see you again tomorrow for our market updates. Bye.